extreme urgency, then we have a chance of making life multiplanetary. Still just a chance, not for sure. If we don't act with extreme urgency, that chance is probably zero. And the rate of innovation is not going to be constant. It's either going to increase the rate of innovation, or it's going to slow down. If you look at American access to space with Crew, we were able to go to the moon in '69. Then with the space shuttle, we could only go to low Earth orbit. And the space shuttle retired. And then for almost a decade, there was no America had no access to space for its people. So this is a pretty bad trend. It's trending to zero.
Right.
We need a very strong trend in the other direction in order to have any chance whatsoever of making life multiplanetary.
Yep.
So that's the reason for the extreme sense of urgency.
build the technologies necessary to make life multiplanetary. To answer more seriously, if you consider the nature of importance itself and say, how do you tell that anything is important? Well, the lens of history is a helpful guide here. And the more you zoom out, the more you can distinguish the things that are important over a great span of time, the truly important things, versus things that may seem important in the moment but are forgotten once that moment has passed.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steven Steele. Welcome aboard, guys. Guys, great to see you. Welcome to this special late night twilight edition of Steven Steele, otherwise known as Midnight Mass. Welcome to Midnight Mass. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you with me tonight for this special late edition. Who do we got active in the chat so far? We've got Bang Stun, we've got Alan Schneider, Northwoods Peachtree. Michael, good to see you. Says, what is up, Steven Steele? The real deal. Ready to hear the show tonight? Well, welcome aboard, Michael. Great to have you in the mix. Hunter Wayne, what's going on, man? Donnie DeVille, Larry Ramirez, good to see you back in the mix. Bang Stun, everybody, Bang Stun tonight. Good to see you, Bang Stun. You, good to see you. Zombie Doge Army, Mr. Lin, good to see you, Mr. Lin. And I'm sure more will flow in as the show proceeds. Before we get started, if I could just ask you guys to hit that like button. It takes a split second of your time, doesn't cost you a dime. Number one thing you can do to help the channel out. And if you're new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. So feel free to subscribe, hit all that notification bell, and descend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. If you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this episode, please feel free to do so. It's a great way to show your support, and it's hugely appreciated for all the time and efforts put forth. So without any further ado, Bang's done celebrating 8 months of membership. Time flies when we're having fun, friend. It's been 8 months already. Thank you for your continued long-term support. Bang's done. Why am I here? Must be the Steele appeal. Someone else said earlier in chat, why the heck am I up? Why the heck am I up? Up. It's called the Steele factor. That's why you're up, my friends. Rock Lobster, 2.5 months already seems like a week to me. Wild, man, wild. Rock Lobster, good to see you in the mix, my friend. Great to see you in the mix. Vegas, what's going on? Good to see you there. Yeah, I got some interesting stuff to go over with you guys tonight. And got my notes out here. And we're going to have a good time. So just kick back and, get settled in, whether you're watching the show on your big flat screen or your phone or maybe your laptop. And let's just get down to it, boppers. Let's get down to it, boppers. This one comes courtesy of FX Street. FX Street. Dogecoin presents buying opportunity before Doge returns to 28 cents. Did you hear this, folks? Dogecoin price action trades lower and hits the lower trend line of a fall wedge pattern. However, significant evidence suggests that a major bear trap and short squeeze will likely commence soon. Point and figure chart supports Japanese candlestick analysis in identifying a probable bottom. Dogecoin is overwhelmingly bearish in its daily Japanese charts. However, that trend will likely find a violent reversal. Wow, that's quite a way to describe it. A violent reversal or a robust corrective move very soon. The primary reason for this reversal on the candlestick chart, the presence of a falling wedge pattern. And I am seeing this as well. Without going too much deeper into that, basically what we are seeing there suggests that Dogecoin probably will go down a little bit more, even more so than it's at now, guys. But then the consequence of that will be hitting that bottom, and then we'll likely see a very dramatic turnaround, and things could get pretty interesting pretty quickly. I think the same goes for Bitcoin. I was actually predicting that Bitcoin, a lot of people are saying the floor on Bitcoin right now is right around 40,000, and that very well may be, but I'm actually allowing for extra room there. It wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin briefly touched back to 39,000, perhaps even 38,000 very briefly. But that's the bad news. The good news is I think the ascendance from there is highly, highly likely. Furthermore, when we look at the history of how the market behaved last year and preceding years before, we have every reason to believe that February could very well likely be very exciting month. So we will see, but I'm still very optimistic about the market as it relates to the second half of the first quarter of this year. Zombie Dose Army says, be back soon, driving home. Drive safe, my friend. We'll see you on the flip. Benzinga, guys. Benzinga is reporting. Why Dogecoin is falling to keep pace with other cryptocurrencies today. Dogecoin traded at 69 cents lower than the 15 cent over the 24-hour leading up to early Monday morning. Doge has fallen about 9% over a 30-day period. Well, it has fallen about 33% over the last 30 days. Doge was not included in the top 10 mentions on Twitter list compiled by CoinTrends. The three most mentioned coins on that list were Bitcoin, SHIB, and Ethereum. Sentiment of the cryptocurrency market continues to be dominated by fear. At least one analyst thinking Bitcoin remains vulnerable to a breach of the 40,000 level, which could get really ugly if ETH breaks the 3,000 level. I would say that's pretty unlikely if ETH does that. What a lot of these articles really don't account for, as it relates to Dogecoin anyway, are all the major events that are coming in the new year. Many of them I've talked about on here repeatedly, and with all due respect to technical analysis, they don't figure in any of those events or progress as it relates to the coin or any cryptocurrency. But particularly Dogecoin, who has very ambitious, very grand plans in 2022. Okay? And I think that these are going to have a pretty significant effect on the market value of Dogecoin as we proceed and move through the year and even through this quarter. Again, I think there's a very high probability that this market will probably stagnate, at least for the next week or two, quite likely till the end of the month. But I think February, all signs are leading to February being very, very exciting. Now, some may say that this is a very optimal accumulation period. I'm not a financial advisor, but I would tend to agree with that sentiment. I'm finally got a little bit more money coming in, so I was able to put in a little bit more just today, actually, in a few positions at where things are at now. And so, yeah, I do think this is a very advantageous window to buy in and buy the dip, as they say. Could it go lower than where we're at now? Yes, it could. But I don't. If things do go lower, if Bitcoin does go lower, again, I just don't see Bitcoin going any lower than 38K before making a very robust, bullish recovery. So there you have it, folks. Sliding Edge, Steele needs to host an Oscars night for crypto, best in categories and memoriam for projects rugged lost. I would be so down to do that. I don't really see any channels that are hosting such themes, but I'd be down to do it. Heck, maybe we can do it here. Slide Edge starting things off with the first super chat of the night. Thank you, Slide Edge. Appreciate that. $5. You know it's cold when Steven trades the pimpin' flat bill hat for a Tim Pool beanie. Well, now they have the beanie on. Hopefully I won't get swatted. But yeah, it's I'm in the Midwest tundra here, and things are really chilly. It is full on winter here. I don't mind so much. I'm kind of unusual in that way. I don't mind winter so much. I don't mind the crisp, cold air and the snow. I quite like snow. Yeah, let's go to the next story. Here, guys. Courtesy of CoinDesk. And we definitely got to cover this, guys. Bitcoin dips below 40K as death cross looms on price charts. The past record of the death cross is an indicator of deeper drawdowns is mixed. They call it the Bitcoin death cross, a bearish indicator, which appears on the 50-day moving average, dips below the 200-day MA. The ominously named chart pattern looks set to be confirmed this week amid mounting concerns of faster liquidity withdrawal by the U.S. Fed. A bearish development for Bitcoin and asset prices in general. On Monday, Bitcoin price dipped briefly below 40,000, which is the first time it's done that since September, guys. At press time, the largest cryptocurrency by market cap was changing hands at 40,800 based on CoinDesk pricing, down 12% so far in 2022. One of Bitcoin's worst starts to a year. Goldman Sachs foresees the Fed raising borrowing costs at least 4 times by the end of 2022 versus its previous prediction of 3 rate hikes, according to Bloomberg. The investment banking giant also expects the central bank to downsize its balance sheet from July. Bitcoin peaked near $69,000 on November 10th and has declined by nearly 40% since. The cryptocurrency slipped over 12% in the last 7 days to January 9th, registering its biggest weekly drop since early December. The impending death cross, coupled with a souring macro outlook, may bolster overall bearish sentiment. And lastly, I'll read an excerpt out of here, guys. Moving average crossovers are unreliable as standalone indicators, given they are based on backward-looking data and tend to lag in prices. The market is often oversold and due for a bounce by the time the crossover is confirmed, as was the case in June of last year, late March of 2020. Well, I gotta tell you folks, it doesn't look good in this regard, but everything I'm looking at and all the data I've been combing over, and I think if Nick was here, he would more than likely agree with me. I think things are going to stagnate for Bitcoin between 39,000 and 43,000, more than likely through the most of the rest of the month. However, I think things will probably take a very dramatic turnabout starting in early February. And that's where I really see the real legs of this bull run kicking in. February, March, I think things could get wild style pretty quickly. So that in mind, that's why I am trying to accumulate now within reason and within my budget, frankly. Let's see here. Steven is way better than RA. Who's RA? Was that the rugged man or something? I would love to be a guest on Tin Pool. That'd be fun. You are that guy. You are that guy. Dojax to the friggin' moon says, broke millionaire. Yeah, and I will be discussing Dojax shortly. There's actually some new news on that project, and it's very exciting. Very exciting. Yeah, I don't know what saga ended up being more entertaining on that as it relates to that kind of talk show circuit, the RRA guy or the Jack Murphy debacle. Probably Jack Murphy, right? Probably the Jack Murphy thing. My goodness. Mama Crypto, what's good tonight? Good to see you. And thank you, Mama Crypto, for holding it down. Thank you, all my mods, for holding it down. But yeah. Oh, and I got some good news to announce. Make sure you get your green tea, your coffee, your energy drinks for late Thursday night, because I have a very special guest. He returns. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. You know him. You love him. My friend, core Dogecoin developer Ross Nickel, will be on Steven Steele Live this Thursday night. It's going to be a midnight math show, so make sure you are aware and ready. We're going to go late. We're going to go late into the night. So it'll technically be Friday morning, you know what I mean, that we'll be going in, but you know what I mean. For all intents and purposes, let's just say it's Thursday night. That will be Ross Nickel, Dogecoin core developer, and we're just going to hang out. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. So make sure you don't miss that. And it'll be great to catch up with Ross. He's always one of my favorite guests to have on the show, hands down. Don DeVille's Johnny Cash sang "Down, Down, Down in a Burning Ring of Fire." I love Johnny Cash, man. One of my favorite Johnny Cash songs is, and honestly, one of my favorite songs of all time is "I've Been Everywhere." I love that song. I've been everywhere, man. Those lyrics, if you can keep up and sing every one of those lyrics, you are very talented. I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca Road when along came a semi with a high and canvas covered load. He said, "If you're going to Winnemucca, Mac, with me you can ride." So I climbed aboard in the cab and settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen the road with so much dust and sand. I said, "Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I'll breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. And then after that, it goes like a mile a minute, naming all the places that he's been to around the United States. But yeah, I love Johnny Cash. I love old classic country western, old classic honky tonk, and old classic bluegrass kind of stuff. Anyway, next story, Morning Glory. India Times reporting. Elon. And this has to do with Neuralink. Elon's telepathic brain chip Neuralink could see first human implant this year. The brain interface tech company was founded by Elon Musk in 2016. Its chip will finally be implanted into a human brain this year. Elon Musk's Neuralink technology will see its first human implant this year. If you're excited to see how Musk's brain chip will work on humans, we might find out very soon. The brain interface tech company was founded by Musk in 2016. In 2021, the implant was seen in action in a monkey who played Mind Pong. The monkey was able to play the game by simply thinking it with the help of a neurochip link. Musk is optimistic about Neuralink. Recently speaking to Wall Street Journal, Musk shared what's in store for the mind-bending tech. We have Neuralink working well in monkeys. We are also doing testing and confirming that's very safe and reliable, and the Neuralink device can be removed safely. For Musk, the Neuralink implant is a profound device. And this is what gets lost on a lot of the critics. And don't get me wrong, like, I understand the hesitancy about wanting to put a chip in your brain. For example, I will not be one of these people. I will never put a chip in my brain. But one major thing that gets overlooked as it relates to Neuralink is what the main goals of Neuralink are. Neuralink implant is a profound device that could help many people who have suffered from spinal cord injuries and struggled to perform bodily tasks. This tech could help them regain independence. We hope to have this in our first humans, which will be people that have severe spinal cord injuries like tetraplegics, quadriplegics next year, pending FDA approval. Musk was quoted by Afrotech as saying. So that's kind of like the main point that gets lost on critics of Neuralink. Elon Musk's predominant goal regarding Neuralink has always been helping disabled people regain their independence, helping quadriplegics and people with severe spinal cord injuries regain movement, regain independence. I think this is a very admirable mission. I think this is a very admirable objective. And everything else around that is just kind of secondary fluff comparatively. And that has always been the predominant goal of Elon Musk as it relates to Neuralink. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Mama Crypto coming in with $5 make you holler. Appreciate it, Mama Crypto. Thanks for the serenade, Steven. I'm sure some people appreciate it and other people were holding their bleeding ears. Maybe I made a few pets howl. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. What if one of those chimps escapes? Would that be the missing link? Bang Stun asks. It sounds like the plot of a movie we've all once seen, most notably Planet of the Apes. I actually thought most of the remakes were pretty good, but it's pretty hard to beat the original with Charlton Heston. Let's see what's going on. Esteban, welcome. Michael says, my brother works for a hospital that specializes in spinal cord and tragic brain injuries. I told him about Neuralink, and he was pretty pumped about it. The future is afoot. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited about it, too. Because I know that those advancements are going to start happening very quickly. In fact, this is something that's particularly important to Matt Wallace is his dad suffered from some sort of spinal cord injury and is in a wheelchair. So it's possible that Neuralink could enable folks like Matt's dad to walk within this lifetime. It's possible. Next story is Cointelegraph. Those who follow the channel closely probably caught this. I edited a little video and uploaded it earlier today regarding this topic, but Cointelegraph kind of expanded on it, even extrapolated on the story even a bit more today, and that is Dogecoin creator Billy Marcus slams Mozilla for pausing crypto donations. The creator of Dogecoin criticized Mozilla for supposedly making his decisions based on feedback from the ignorant reactionary internet mob. Mozilla, the developers of the Firefox internet browser, tweeted that the company was accepting cryptos like Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin as donations, along with a BitPay donation link. However, with less than a week later, the campaign was stopped as it received backlash from users and programmer Jamie Zawinski, co-founder of Mozilla. According to Zawinski, everyone involved... I cannot believe this is a direct quote from this guy. Now keep in mind, this is a direct quote from Jamie Zawinski, the co-founder of Mozilla. And he said this: everyone involved should be ashamed of this decision to partner with planet incinerating Ponzi grifters. Wow. I mean, geez, relax. Tell us how you really feel. That's pretty excessive. And it's particularly interesting that since he supposedly feels that strongly against cryptocurrency in general, that he was also still the co-owner of Mozilla when they made the decision to accept cryptocurrency as donations. And imagine how to me this is very off-putting. Because they merely announced that they were accepting Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin as donations for charity. Now imagine being such a privileged dickwad, pardon my French, that you're like, oh, don't donate that way. We don't want your cryptocurrency because some people say it's bad for the environment. You think cryptocurrency is bad for the environment? What do you think the current systems that we have in place, all the energy that's expended just to come up with fiat and everything surrounding it. When you examine how much energy just one single bank, one branch of one bank expends in a year. Furthermore, the carbon footprints of all the employees driving back and forth to that one branch in a year. To me, this has always been a pretty absurd, overblown argument against cryptocurrency. And yeah, that's wild. That statement from the co-founder of Mozilla makes me never want to use Firefox again. And I'm on a Firefox browser right now, but I think it would change. Everyone involved should be ashamed of this decision to partner with planet incinerating Ponzi grifters. This is a word that I've been hearing thrown around a lot lately. Ponzi. I think it's been excessively used, personally. Particularly in the ways that people are using it more and more lately. You could really boil most anything down to a Ponzi scheme by that definition. Every stock trade is a Ponzi scheme. Every crypto trade is a Ponzi scheme. Any investment based on speculative assets is a Ponzi scheme. You know, we got to be smarter about the word when we use these sorts of words. Tim, good to see you, Tim. Steven Steele, just curious if you heard from Upshot Chris Crypto lately since he's making another run at the YouTube thing. Yeah, I haven't heard from him, but he does follow me on Twitter. I actually popped in for the first time to check out one of his live streams briefly today. I didn't have much time to stay because I was in between errands. Yeah, and I actually noticed a lot of familiar names from this community watching him over there. Look, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to spend the rest of your life holding grudges at people? And, nobody's perfect. It's one of those things where the return of Upshot, Chris Crypto, it just comes down to just like your personal compass. If you're ready to move on, and some people aren't ready, and they are done with they're done with Chris, they're done with Upshot, and others, they're like, you know what, I'm ready to move on. And each person, there's no right or wrong answer to it. I respect it either way. And I guess that's how I feel about it. Bank's done. Life is a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Erectile Reptile, good to see you in the mix. Jason Huffman. When did you sneak in, Jason? Yeah, another person says, I won't support Upshot. I get it. I'm not telling you what to do one way or the other. I get it either way. I just try to get along with people, folks. I try to get along with people, and it's it sometimes puts me in precarious positions because, certain people have very strong feelings about other particular content creators. And I got to tell you, for the most part, I get along with pretty much every Doge-centric content creator out there. So, it is what it is. Let's see. Coin Telegraph coming in. Ethereum plunges 13%, down more than Bitcoin after Fed spooks crypto markets. Ethereum lost roughly 13% versus Bitcoin's 9% decline in the past 24 hours. Ethereum's native token plunged sharply. Hours at the United States Federal Reserve released the minutes of the December meeting, showing that it has eyes on faster timetable for hiking interest rates in 2022. Yeah, the Fed has, guys, make no mistake about it, the Fed has really been flooding the crypto market pretty significantly. And it hasn't been able to, the market hasn't really been able to shake off that Fed FUD yet, but I do believe it will. We do have a history, we do have a track record to go on to show that anytime the government FUDs the crypto market, or particular prominent politicians FUD the crypto market, the bad news is it does have a significant effect. The good news is it's always a very short window of time in the grand scheme of things before a full recovery of that sort of talk occurs. So, there you have it. Now, hello, Real Deal, Steven Steele. Hello, Wildin' Out. Good to see you in the mix. Some funny comments in the chat there. Now, remember Dojax? That was a NFT project that I was involved with. Well, they just released, just a few short hours ago, their most recent updates to the project, and it seems that the development team has been very, very busy, behind the scenes. And this is really encouraging, and I'm going to tell you why I'm encouraged by this. But first, I know there are some Dojax NFT holders in the audience here tonight. So these updates and what they're calling the beginning of Phase 2 appears to be pretty significant. So there's going to be a full website redesign to reflect their 2022 mission and objectives. They're calling it intricacy of information will be substantial and will help with optics for new investors. We are very excited to show you the redesign, and it should be done in the next few days. So very soon, the Dojax website will have a full revamp. Dojax Jr. After heavy discussion, we decided to reveal Dojax Jr. in waves. We are fine-tuning the metadata batches right now and should have it live by Wednesday or Thursday. When this function is live, the first 1,500 will be revealed. Once that is complete, the next reveals will come out in batches of 1,000. We believe this to be the best way to keep a certain level of mystery and also ensure metadata privacy. I think that's smart. I think it's very smart, particularly as it relates to metadata privacy and security. I think that's a smarter way of doing it. Now, check out this as it relates to Dojax. I didn't see this part coming. A utility token, a much-awaited announcement of our tradable stake, that's what they call it, utility token. The rumors are true. As a part of introducing our Dojax utility token, Dojax NFTs will be eligible to claim a free token airdrop. So everyone that owns the Dojax NFT or NFTs it will qualify to get free airdrops of their utility token called stake. More to come on how rare Dojax will be eligible to claim even greater airdrops based on a systematic rewards multipliers. Furthermore, we will be introducing staking where users can stake their own Dojax NFTs and receive a fixed amount of Dojax tokens every day. And then lastly, they say that we are currently excited to explore gaming options for our NFT collections. Currently, we are interested in the concept of an 8-bit game. I love the idea of an 8-bit game that will allow for playing through Dojax lore, earning utility tokens, and perhaps integrating stake options as well. So, what do I think of this? I'll tell you what I think of this. But first, I'd like to give wow coming in with big Doge energy. Big Doge energy. Appreciate it so much. Rock Lobster coming in large and in charge, lighting up the screen, literally helping to keep the lights on over here. Thank you for helping out over here at Steele HQ. Rock Lobster, massive super chat for $100. Make you holler. Working on a new album. If we shoot the ish, throw me some clever names. Y'all so witty. Make them good, and if I use them, I will bring you up on stage at the Vegas party. Awesome. This is so cool. That is awesome. So for those who don't know, Rock Lobster is the front man and pretty much the brainchild of Eagles of Death Metal and a stalwart member of this community, and we love Rock Lobster here. And so we're kind of been flirting with the idea of having a Doge party, kind of a weekender party in Las Vegas, wherein the Eagles of Death Metal may play. So we're kind of conceptualizing this right now, and we'll keep you guys posted. But wouldn't that be something to make that a reality? I mean, I don't see why not. Rock Lobster, that's awesome, and thank you for the generous super chat, man. Hugely appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, and always great to have you in the mix. So there's a When Vegas fam. Sorry, just saw that now, Mama Crypto. Not sure yet. But what I do know is I think Vegas is the place. Vegas baby is the place to have our Doge weekender, Steve Steele community weekender. But it's obviously going to extend much bigger in this community, particularly if Eagles of Death Metal play it, right? Then it's going to become a whole nother entity. So yeah, I'm willing to work with talent buyers and whoever to make this happen. And I do have a bit of experience with it from the touring that I used to do. So Vegas has to be the place. I think we should do Vegas on a weekender sometime within 2022. That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. And I think it's doable. It looks like someone going by my name, except they're still spelling Steven different. I troll other channels, so Steven doesn't have to. Okay, thank you. So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Except, yeah, be careful out there. Audio Free, good to see you in the mix. Gonna pretend like it's Vegas in my studio tonight. Right on. Josh Rendell says, Rock Lobster, you're sexier than Elvis. You know, I had a friend when I started, my first venture into music was playing in punk rock and hardcore bands starting at the age of 15 years old. When we'd play, by the time I was 16 years old, I was playing, sold out all ages venues on Sunday matinee shows. And by selling out, you're talking like a couple hundred people maybe, right? But we had a lot of fun. And when I was conceiving band names for my very first project as a 15, 16-year-old, my friend Andy, who's one of my close skater buddies back then, said, "You should name your bands Smell This." I'll never forget that. Smell This. And looking back, I think that is a really good name. That'd be a really good name for like a skate punk band. Smell This. The party is going down. The party is going to be in the Steven Suite at the Aria. Yeah, I love it, man. Give me the biggest. I'll rent out the biggest suite. We'll continue the after party there. Totally wild style. I'm excited, man. I'm really excited. I'm not a big gambler myself. Oh, well, it's kind of ironic saying that while talking about crypto and NFTs because inherently it's kind of gamblish, but I don't think, I know a lot of people have been saying that crypto is pretty much a complete and total casino. I kind of contend that that's not the case. I mean, there's definitely parallels there. There's definitely projects that you can invest in that are complete and total gambles. But if you really stay astute to what you're doing, it really increases your odds exponentially and tremendously. Gives you advantages that straight up casino gambling, it's very hard to come by. Anyway, this story is coming courtesy of CoinDesk. Neil Strauss pens the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Tell All. What does it mean to write a memoir about a group of NFT avatars that kind of exists but kind of doesn't? The author of The Pickup Artist and 9 other books tells Jeff Weisler. The article is part of CoinDesk Culture Week. So Neil Strauss knows how to write about weird subcultures. His infamous bestseller, The Game, Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists, released in 2005, introduced the world to new concepts like negging and peacocking. If you ever set foot in the club in the 2000s, you've heard the terms. More bestsellers would follow, 10 in total: Survivalism, Heavy Metal, and Adult Stars, put it that way. But Strauss might have been stumbled into the wildest subculture of his career, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. In an unlikely event, you clicked on the story but are unfamiliar with BAYC, you'll find whatever. We know. So here Neil Strauss went undercover to write a total memoir based on the culture and clubs surrounding the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And it's kind of interesting because given what Neil Strauss has covered in the past, and his most notable body of work was The Game, which was kind of an expose on the inside circles of what were perceived anyway to be the most successful pickup artists of that time. And it kind of turned Neil Strauss into a pickup artist, so much so that that's how he said he cultivated the skills of picking up women through his research on that book, which landed him the last wife that he had. Now, he ended up writing like a follow-up to it that was very apologetic about it all after his wife left him. Neil. That's not going to make your now ex-wife respect you more, writing an apology book about apologizing for the way that you even scored her as a wife in the first place. Just own it, man. Just own it. Anyway, now he's writing about the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And some of the more interesting things were let's see here. Sorry, I lost my notes on here. Let's see. Yeah, I must have accidentally deleted all my notes on Neil Strauss's observations of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, but what I do recall is that there are very much secret society elements to the Bored Ape Yacht Club, to degrees that he didn't initially anticipate. So I'm sure that book is probably a pretty fascinating read given his writing style. Holy cannolis! Jason Huffman coming in large and in charge, putting a big Benjamin on the deck. $100 super chat from Jason Huffman. Here are some funds for HQ and planning the Steven Steele Doge fan super party in Vegas. I love it. Thank you so much, Jason Huffman. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super generous super chat, man. My goodness. I love it. I love it. I like the Steven Steele Doge fan super party in Vegas. Jason Huffman, you better be there. Don't be square. I have a feeling you're going to be there. You know, I love this idea. I love the idea of being able to meet you fine folks in person. This will be, I think this could be quite phenomenal. Quite the time, to put it mildly. Donna Tabuki coming in with $10. Make you holler. Sorry I'm late. Yes, I got your text. Okay, just give me the heads up. Give me the heads up, Donna. Better late than never. And thank you, Donna. Appreciate you. Anyway, thank you so much, Jason Huffman, for the big Doge energy. And I expect to see you in Vegas, Jason Huffman, and we certainly expect to see Rock Lobster. Not only expect to see Rock Lobster in the mix of our circle, but cheering on Rock Lobster like the rock star, epic rock star he is on the stage at a awesome venue in Vegas. That is going to be great. Zombie Doge Army, thank you for the $3 super sticker. My hero. Thank you, Zombie. Oh, man. Pretty good attendance here considering it's how late it is on a weeknight. Let's go to the next story. This one's really funny. This one comes courtesy of The Independent, which is a UK paper. Oh man, I'm locked in. This is the real story. Man pleads for help on Twitter after falling asleep in a shop massage chair. Manager apologizes for staff's failure to notice a man was still enjoying the mechanical back rub when locking up. A man was forced to tweet for help when he got locked in a department store after falling asleep on a massage chair. The man awoke to a deserted shop floor of dozing off in an electronics store in Japan. Identified only by his Twitter handle, the sleepy customer was forced to tweet his plight when he discovered he was locked inside the shop. Posting various photos of a dark and empty interior, he captioned the photo, "Oh man, I'm locked in, somebody help me." The photos of the shutters of the front of the shop, named K's, are clearly shut. It is thought the man triggered an alarm which notified the police, who managed to get in touch with the shop's manager. After 10 officers searched for him to confirm he was not a shoplifter, he tweeted that he had finally managed to get out. The manager apologized to the man for the staff's failure to notice he was still in the chair when locking up. The man also said sorry, although it was unclear how long he nodded off for. His original post has since been retweeted more than 40,000 times. Others commented that it was a childhood dream to be locked inside a department store, while others likened the man's predicament to a popular escape the room style games. That is funny. Imagine falling asleep in a massage chair and waking up all alone, 2 a.m. You're the only person in the mall. It does kind of sound like the plot to Home Alone 3. Christopher James, what's up, guys? Came by and smashed the like. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the likes. And if you haven't hit that like button, if you could do it, it really helps out the channel. So it's a simple, really effective way to do so. If you're new here, you've been watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. It's great to have you a part of us. We've got an awesome community here, and I want you to be a part of it. So feel free to hit subscribe and hit on that notification bell. Tim H says, I like the late shows. I always miss the early ones, and that's why I try to go on a little bit different times. Sometimes early in the night, sometimes late night. Overall, I'm definitely skew on the night owl end of things. So I got a soft spot in my heart for night owl folks. I got a soft spot in my heart for third shifters. So that's why I will always do some late shows. Did anyone do the Mr. Beast everyone gets a car offer? I did. Ooh, yeah. Holy smokes. Holy shnikes. Jason Uppin coming in with 5-0, a big 5-0, $50 make you holler super chat. Thank you so much, Jason Uppin. He says, Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. Vegas, baby. Vegas. You know what Vegas has a lot of is buffets. There's all-you-can-eat buffets everywhere in Vegas. I've had some really good times in Vegas, guys. And it hardly involved gambling at all. I'm just not a big gambler, not a big casino gambler. But despite that, I've had some wild fun times in Vegas. And I am looking forward to having a wild fun time with each and every one of you guys there. We are going to do it too. We are going to party hardy in Vegas for the Steven Steele Weekender, the Steven Steele Dogecoin Weekender, whatever we're going to call it. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but I am stoked. I am excited. Josh Randell disavows coming with $5 make you holler. I deeply love you guys. Hugs to all. Right back at you, Josh Randell. You always got a home here. We love Josh Randell, and it's always great to have Josh in the mix. Now, next story, Morning Glory. The worst Netflix movies of 2021. This is according to NetflixLife.com. And we'll see how it stacks up. And you guys tell me in the chat if you've seen any of these movies that I'm about to mention to you and if you liked them or not. First up on the list of the 10 worst movies of last year, Thunder Force. I have seen this movie, believe it or not. You would think that Melissa McCarthy and Octavia Spencer starring opposite each other in a superhero comedy would be foolproof. On paper, it's the perfect setup, but the execution of Thunder Force left much to be desired. The Netflix original movie has plenty of humor, but it's still pretty much a half-baked idea that's not paced well and not as funny as it should be or could be. Also, why was Jason Bateman a crab? Yeah, he did. Jason Bateman played like this character that's half man, half crab. Thunder Force was awful, and I knew it was going to be awful just by the trailer, and I watched it anyway. I wouldn't say I watched it avidly. I watched it while I was kind of multitasking, but I was peering over my computer and going, It just didn't land. It reminded me of, I was getting flashbacks of Ghostbusters 2016. It was that bad. So I agree that should be on the list of absolute Netflix turds 2021. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Outside the stage behind Beauty Bar was last outdoor stage I performed on, which was the night VP died in his sleep. Who's VP? It was like 110 that night. So I've actually DJ'd once at the Beauty Bar at that Beauty Bar in Vegas many years ago, like 10 years ago. I had a great time, and I know the back. I know the outdoor stage in the back that you're referring to, although I haven't seen a show there. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And who said that? Was that Donnie DeVille? Yeah, let me know what your music group was or is, Donnie. Be curious to see what you do. Malcolm and Marie. I've never seen this movie. I've never even heard of this movie. For a film that is only an hour and 46 minutes, Malcolm and Marie managed to be both long and incredibly exhausting. Anyone see this? The Woman in the Window. Oh, I watched about 10 minutes of this and had to shut it off. First things first, we need to get the obvious out of the way. You can never go wrong with Amy Adams ever. In fact, we're still waiting for her to get retroactive Emmy for Sharp Objects, but we digress. Adams fans waited a long time for The Woman in the Window and its eventual release on Netflix. Kind of fell flat. I think Amy Adams is likable, but it was just like, the first 10 minutes was like being, exposed to one of the worst chick flick movies of my life. Next up on the 10 worst movies, 10 worst Netflix movies of 2021 is Afterlife of the Party. Afterlife of the Party. Anyone see this? It looks like a made for Hallmark rom-com special. Enough said there. Then He's All That. I have a play on words on the movie She's All That. Look, I love a good Netflix rom-com and truly enjoyed the film that inspired this reboot. I'm not ashamed to admit my love for the genre. However, I could just not get past the lackluster acting of the film's entire cast. The random plot lines seem to make no sense. He's all that. You guys may find this hard to believe, but I haven't gone out of my way to watch He's All That. Hypnotic. Anyone see Hypnotic? This one looked interesting, and I actually thought about watching it, but I haven't seen it yet. But it's also on the worst movies of 2021. Unfortunately, Netflix doesn't have the best track record for original horror movies, and Hypnotic is no exception. Despite starring the wonderful Kate Siegel, Hypnotic is nothing you haven't seen before, and it's incredibly, incredibly boring. The Kissing Booth 3. At last, The Kissing Booth 3. I've been waiting for The Kissing Booth 3 for so long. It's been an eternity since I saw The Kissing Booth 2. I'm just kidding. I haven't seen any of the Kissing Booth movies, and I had no idea that there was a third one. But according to Netflix Life, it has way too many plot lines on one of the worst Netflix movies endings we've ever seen, and god-awful time jump, and muddy storylines. Then there's Someone Inside Your House. If you thought I was done talking about bad horror movies on Netflix, you'd be wrong. I was excited to see There's Someone Inside Your House come out, considering it was directed by Patrick Bryce of Creep and Creep 2. However, the filmmaker played it safe with this one, getting a few fun kills, but presenting a super shallow story overall, and the big reveal in the end was just a real boring bummer. Then Beckett. I didn't see Beckett. Despite my high hopes for this Netflix movie, it's just not good. Don't watch it. It's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I'll take your word for it. And the last of the top 10 worst Netflix movies of 2021 is The Starling. Starling. I'm conflicted about adding this movie on the list because there are some worse movies, but it could have made the list. That said, Starling is a skip because it's bad, so sorry for saying so, and it's sad. It's sad and bad. Well, no one wants to watch things that are both sad and bad. Well, folks, next show we'll do the best. We'll do the best Netflix movies of 2021 tomorrow night. How about that? Captain Jack says, hey, Steven. Hey, now, now. Say this corrosion to me. Anyone can name that band. Anyone name that band? I'll be impressed. Alan Schneider just got done with yoga and working. Yeah, I was actually working on a couple big restoration projects at my business, furniture stuff, and you can't see it here, but I'm covered in like Danish oil and basically sanding dust. So I went from there, and then I already prepped this show earlier in the day, and I just got it set up, and I popped on with you fine folks. So that's pretty much what I was up to. Caesar just mentions the Wu-Tang Clan for whatever reason. Cream rules everything around me. The Wu-Tang Clan mixed up in the NFT scene. They actually got in trouble for taking credit for some NFTs that weren't theirs. Not a good look to cheat the artist out of those credits. Kind of tacky, really. Okay, next story. Also courtesy of The Independent, woman mortified after buying McDonald's meal for a homeless man, only discovered he was just an ordinary customer. A woman was left mortified at McDonald's after she bought a man eating tomato ketchup a meal because she believed he was homeless, only to discover that he was just an ordinary customer waiting for his meal. Clad Varen, 33, was buying breakfast at McDonald's in Halifax Town Center. We saw an unshaven man, maybe it was me, with a rucksack, sat on the table eating ketchup from a sauce dispenser. You know, in this woman's defense, who wouldn't think that this guy was homeless? Who would think that this guy, because what regular normal customer is just going to come into McDonald's and start mowing down on ketchup, only ketchup from a sauce dispenser while waiting for your food to come up? Fearing he was homeless and hungry, she decided to buy him a meal. As she placed it in front of him, a member of the staff brought over another meal and apologized to the man for the wait, so he got 2 meals. The woman said, "I felt like I was going to die of embarrassment." I feel bad for this woman because who wouldn't think that under the circumstances? Maybe I had no money, was starving. I thought only desperation could lead to someone eating ketchup. I thought the same thing. He must have been sat there for a good 10 minutes, so I assumed he hadn't ordered and then just came in from the cold. She added, I really enjoy McDonald's breakfast now and again, but I think I'll have to give that store a miss in the mornings in case I see that man again. Kind of funny story there. See what's going on in the chat, guys. I have no shame. I have ventured out of the house looking for almost 4, but I don't eat straight up ketchup. I don't like ketchup enough to eat it on its own. I mean, just thinking about eating any condiment on its own, like in large portions, is very undesirable to me. Not very appetizing at all. Not very appetizing at all. So, folks, just to kind of recap, this Bitcoin death cross scenario, I think it will lead to generally stagnation of Bitcoin between 39,000 and 43,000 for the next couple weeks. Could it be wrong? Sure, I could be wrong. But I think that's the most probable scenario, followed by some very bullish moves. I still think that February is going to be a huge month for the market. Crypto Lepcon didn't see in the mix. Maybe he had low blood sugar and ketchup has a ton of sugar in it. I love that. I love that someone comes to the aid of this guy and said, hey, listen, maybe he's having low blood sugar and he needed to pump it back up. I like that explanation, Crypto Leprechaun. We'll go with it. Cat yoga. I didn't know that there was cat yoga. I know that there's like integration now with yoga you can do with your dog, but I haven't heard of cat yoga. I know a woman. I actually dated a woman who would get acupuncture for her dog. I'm serious. There's this place that specialized it where she would get acupuncture done for her dog. I couldn't believe it when I first heard about it. And she wasn't even doing it out of jest. I mean, this dog got doggy acupuncture every week. I mean, okay. It's just wild to me, man. So wild. Oh, anyway, to toggle back to Dojax. Remember I was talking about Dojax before? Sorry, I kind of got carried away with a lot of different tangents. But I want to toggle back to Dojax because Dojax announcing and kind of the development team coming out showing clear intention to revamping the whole website, which is going to relaunch. They've tweaked the way they're rolling out the pups that they're calling Dojax Juniors. I think they're rolling out more smartly and video game integration and staking with its own utility token. These are all immensely exciting things to be pretty bullish about the project over. Furthermore, it's really easy, and we've been seeing this so much, particularly over the course of the end of last year. Once everything mints out and it's easy for teams to get really complacent and kind of just disappear into the night, right? And not really put any effort in the project here. That's not what's happening with Dojax. It's got a long-term committed development on it, and they are following through on that. And that, in and of itself, makes it a lot more exceptional, a lot more valuable in my opinion, compared to most NFT projects out there. And I think what we're going to learn, particularly as we keep plotting through the new year, that some of these NFT projects that the floors may not be looking terribly remarkable right now, will really surprise people in the long term. So NFTs are not unlike crypto in that regard. Sometimes you just they got to be long holds before you really see some huge market value on them. And I can see that happening to Dojax. So congrats to Dojax on those 2022, essentially a 2022 roadmap. Anyway, guys, my voice is kind of sore, kind of hoarse. I don't know why. Maybe from broadcasting. I don't know. And just talking a lot in general, I guess. But I'm kind of at the end of the news cycle for this edition of Steven Steele. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming out. I want to thank my generous super chatters, particularly Rock Lobster and Jason Huffman. You guys are awesome. You guys are big ballers, and just not only that, but just these are really tremendous quality guys. And it doesn't surprise me because like I said many times before, we may not have the biggest community, but we really do have the best community here, and I love it. And just keep it in mind, folks. Vegas, baby, and we will. We're all going to meet someday. We're all going to meet someday, and hopefully, it will be in Vegas. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in tonight. Hope you got something out of it. I know I did. I had a great time. And until next time, which will more than likely be tomorrow night. This is your man, Real Deal, Steven Steele. Sign out. Until next time, guys. Thank you.